serial killer Peter Sutcliffe, known as the Yorkshire Ripper, has died in hospital at the age of 74. He had coronavirus. Sutcliffe murdered 13 women across Yorkshire and the northwest of England between 1975 and 1980. He was also convicted of the attempted murder of 7 other women. This report from our correspondent Danny Savage contains some flashing images.
Over a period of 6 years, all of these women were murdered by the same man. 13 families' lives torn apart by Peter Sutcliffe. Wilma McCann was the first to be killed in Leeds in 1975. Her son Richard was just 5 years old when she died. He believes today brings some sort of closure.
I know that there will be many people that welcome this day, and maybe some of them will get some peace. Is the man that took my mum's life, and so it is significant. It's not, well, it is a motive in some ways, but you know, I've got my own life, I've got my own family now, and let's get on with our lives with a bit more peace, shall we say, after today.
This was in Halifax, where 19-year-old bank clerk Josephine Whitaker was killed. Murder scenes were scattered across Yorkshire and Manchester. For several years, women, especially here in West Yorkshire, were scared. Going out alone at night was a real risk. Peter Sutcliffe changed the way people lived. Still, he found victims, like Mo Lee, who was an art student in Leeds and survived when Sutcliffe ambushed her.
My attack did shape my life and my outlook. Within a matter of 5 minutes, one side of that time scale, I was a happy-go-lucky, young, innocent art student, and after that I became sarcastic and cynical, and I lost trust.
Sutcliffe was known to police. He was interviewed 9 times, but things never went any further.
I'm Jack. I see you are still having no look catching me.
That's partly because the police inquiry was famously led down a blind alley by hoax tapes from a man dubbed Wearside Jack. He sent letters and tapes taunting the investigating officers.
I have the greatest respect for you, George.
Even though he fitted descriptions, it led to the conclusion that Peter Sutcliffe wasn't their man, as a retired detective recalls.
And one of the top table officers said, is he a Geordie? No. What's his name? He said, Peter Sutcliffe. Now listen, boys. Peter Sutcliffe, Peter Sutcliffe is not the Yorkshire Ripper.
So Sutcliffe carried on killing. Colleagues at the haulage firm where he worked knew he was a suspect and used to joke about it.
He was a nickname the Ripper, and he used to answer to that sometimes, so it was, you know, it's rather sort of, it's sad now, isn't it?
When he was eventually arrested for having stolen number plates, he confessed. At Dewsbury Police Station, the public turned out to express their disgust. Sutcliffe was jailed for the rest of his life. He died after contracting COVID-19 and refusing treatment. Few, if any, will mourn the passing of a man who destroyed so many lives. Danny Savage, BBC News, Leeds.
West Yorkshire Police has apologised for the way some senior officers spoke at the time about some of Sutcliffe's